Hey guys, this is Brendon from SHOT Show. We're here today with Steven from Firearms. Sir, take it away.
All right. We got a bunch of new stuff. I don't know if you guys have been following any of our socials.
Oh, I have.
There's we teased it quite a few things, and we kind of did a rough announcement of all the new stuff. The thing that's been absolutely just most popular by far is our PLX 1-8 with the Nova reticle. So our PLX 1-8's been out for like 2 years now.
Absolutely.
In a first focal plane. The only critique we got on it was people wanted it brighter
Daytime
than
bright,
last
right?
year. Yeah, that whole daytime bright, not like daytime visible, but they want to be able to burn their eyeballs out with it.
Whatever.
Yep, it's
all
cool. We came out with our Nova in the SLX 1-6 last year, that like $340 price point. So the entry level price point, everybody's like, oh well, yeah, just throw that in the PLX. Like, oh cool, yeah, we'll just cram it in there, it's good to go. Unfortunately, it takes a little bit longer to do that, but this year we'll actually be able to get it out and get it to the people. So the availability on this thing is actually going to be Q2 this year. So just a couple more months and it's going to be commercially available.
Right.
It's extremely bright. The big difference between this and its kind of older cousin is the Nova is a second focal plane instead of a first, and that's just kind of the nature of that reticle. You can't really do a first focal plane because it would just be too thick at 8x, or it would completely disappear at 1. But yeah, we were also able to shave a little bit of weight off of it and a little bit of length, so super compact, just over a pound, and it came out phenomenal.
If I'm not correctly, you guys were releasing the attachment, right? Does this have that one where it shuts off a certain
So yeah, it's called AutoLive. Our AutoLive technology is actually built into the whole PLX line. So with the gun, you can leave it, we call it the constant on state. So especially if you're running it for, like I'm in Texas, everybody in Texas has guns, a lot of guns laying all over the place. So I've got one of these on my bedside MCX, just like everybody does. And
that's fine.
I don't have to ever turn it off. When it sits next to my bed, it shuts itself down. And as soon as I touch it, so everything on here with AutoLive, like if I hit it, everything's on now. So it doesn't take a whole lot. Most people don't even know it's working because as soon as they go to pick the gun up, it turns itself back on. But you like greatly extend your battery life by doing
So from the user's point of view, it's on the entire time, right?
Yep.
The moment you touch it, it's on, right?
As soon as they touch it, it kicks itself on and it's ready to go.
Right, and it compliments on the 1-6 Nova too, right? Like that $400 line you guys had there.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, we ran Vortex BSTs for a long time because that
Great
was
scope.
Great scope, but that was the only one that's daytime bright, you know, in that price range.
Yeah.
And you just cut that in half and gave us like 1-6 Novas.
Yeah, with that fiber wire illumination.
Fiber wire illumination, crazy stuff, man. Is there anything else that you guys released new this year other than the one?
Yeah, I mean the PLX has been super popular. Another really popular optic for us is actually this guy right here. So everybody kind of knows us for our micro prisms. In the SLX line, we have our 1X, 3X, and last year we released the 5X. Again, people wanted something with a little bit clearer glass in it, with a little bit better illumination, a little bit wider field of view, smaller footprint. So we came out with our new GLX 1X micro prism. So the GLX, we moved the battery compartment, we took the rheostat off altogether, so it's no longer a dial. By doing that, even though the body is larger, the overall footprint is smaller because we don't have that big thing hanging off the side anymore.
It's buttons right now, as I can see.
Yep, now we're running buttons on the GLX. Then we kind of bias the buttons up so you can come over the top and still manipulate with your offhand. So it's really ambidextrous, works really well. And then with the buttons, they're nice and big, super tactile. You can feel them click, and you can push them with the gloved hand, which is nice. We moved the battery compartment to the top to, again, decrease the width. It's still available, or it comes with all of the mounts that its SLX little brother comes with. So there's 8 different mounting options in the box. And then being that small prism footprint, any of the aftermarket stuff from guys like LaRue or ADM or anybody like that will fit with it. The really cool thing about it is it has literally an infinite eye relief. So we can set this thing up and you can stand 30, 40 feet back. You can look through the optic, see the reticle, see through the optic, and still engage targets.
Even though it's a prism optic, it has unlimited eye relief.
It has absolutely unlimited eye relief.
That's crazy.
And we're talking like 30, 40, 50, 60. We put it in our warehouse 120 feet away. You can still see a nice sharp chevron. It's incredible. So if you're putting it on an AK with like an Ultimac rail, or you're running it on a Springfield SOCOM or anything like that where it's going to be forward mounted, it doesn't matter how far away you mount it, you're always going to be able to see through it with no scope shadow.
Does it have eye box restrictions though, right?
You do, yeah, you do have a little bit of left to right as far as your eye box goes, but again, it's super wide, so it's really as close to a traditional dot as you can get without being a traditional dot.
Right.
Still having that etched reticle, so if you have an astigmatism or anything like that where you have a hard time seeing a dot,
absolutely,
it's still nice and sharp. If the batteries go out, kind of one of the backup features of it is you still have a reticle to look at, so you don't need iron sights or anything like that anymore. But yeah, this thing is absolutely incredible, and it's going to retail under $350.
And we're also seeing a bunch of like piggyback optics now, right, on your mounts. And is that something new, or has that, maybe I just missed that? So
no, yeah, we actually have a new line of, I'll show this one as well, a new line of SLX mounts. So we did 4 cantilever mounts, 2 30 millimeters in flat and 20 MOA, and then the same in 34s. And along with those, we released a suite of accessories. So with our micro prisms, we had what was called our MROM, which is our micro reflex offset mount that replaced the keeper. Now we have it on our cantilevers as well.
Wow.
So you can run a reflex at a 1 o'clock. Ours is about 33 degrees instead of the 45. But it replaces a cantilever, so it's much more secure, a lot steadier, a lot stronger. Then we've also got the 12 o'clock mounts, like you can see these guys here.
Yeah.
So it's our top cap reflex mount, and those have a RMR style footprint, so anything with that footprint will mount right to it. This uses a Glock MOS style footprint, so if you have anything with the plates, you can adapt it to whatever you want to put on it. But yeah, they're super solid, and really cool is they all work with our PLX mounts as well. So, yep, they're backwards compatible to our premium line. So if you have, a PLX and you want to run an offset, you can.
I saw that. I'm like, okay, maybe because I run that, but the way I run it right now is I had to buy a 30 millimeter clamp, right?
Yeah, so
but sometimes it's secure. I've hit it to a point where it shifted.
And it turns around when you align it and level it and all that. It can be a pain. So yeah, have it integrate right into the mount and it works.
This thing is new too, correct?
That is new as well. So the dot on it is actually one of our new dots. So we have 4 new MD21s, which are our new dots. We have 2 in the SLX and 2 in the GLX categories. The biggest difference between them is obviously the solar panel on top. Okay. So the GLX has that solar cell. The solar cell runs the dot the majority of the time, and the battery acts as a backup to the solar cell. Like it's actually, there's enough light inside in here for this to run the dot. It's very, very efficient. So really, like nighttime, kind of the darkest times, inside lights off, that's when the battery's going to take over and run it. Otherwise, it's running off that solar panel.
Wow.
So we've got the same reticle options available in both. And like I said, GLX has a solar cell. The SLX doesn't. It's got the buttons located on top, where the GLX has the buttons on the side. And then the reticles, we do a standard 2 MOA reticle as well as our new ACSS CQB reticle, which you can configure yourself. So if you just want the chevron on, you can just have the chevron. If you want the chevron and BDC, you get chevron BDC. If you want chevron horseshoe and BDC. By pushing and holding the up arrow, it'll cycle through the reticle options, so you can have the features that you want and turn off the ones you don't. Yep, comes with it right out of the box. Wow. And then it's sitting on our new SLX 2.26 inch riser. So everybody's going taller and taller. I know a couple of years ago we did our Skyriser April Fool's post with our 18-inch tall. It works. It actually shoots really well.
Did you guys,
it's sitting in my office. It works really well. It's a trip. The height over bore is a little bit to adjust for, but it's all right. Cool thing about the 226 height is, everybody's is that lower 1/3. Is it absolute? Right. Once you get high enough, you fall outside of that field of view. But now with the irons on it, you can actually index through. So that's why we have that big, tall channel cut in it.
Right.
So you can index your irons through the mount itself. So you can still run backup irons for it if you want.
Absolutely great stuff. Perfect, man. Is there anything else that's new? Awesome.
A lot of cool new stuff.
A lot of cool new stuff, absolutely.
Pretty much something for everybody.
A lot of these things are dropping within this year, right? Some of them are already out, right?
everything that we announced and everything we have here at SHOT Show will be available Q2 of this year.
Cool. Yep. Thanks, sir. Appreciate
you. Thank you.
Make sure you like our videos and subscribe to our channel. We put a lot of content out there. We drop a video every Tuesday for your viewing pleasure. And we vary up the content so that way we stay relevant for you.